First of all, we want to thank Douglas Tibbers. Douglas in the house? Doug Tibbers? There he is over there. That man over there is responsible for this event simply because he suggested us having this event because we're looking for a free venue in which to do our Spofest spoken word poetry event. And when I read the email, I was like, that sounds like a really good idea. So we decided to combine the favorite poem night with Spofest. So let's give a warm round of applause for Doug Tibbers here for giving us the spark of the idea to do this event. We also like to thank the First Christian Church for allowing us to use their facility. Big round of applause for them too. Thank you guys for letting us do it here. Your musician for the evening will be Mr. Travis DeMoss. Some of you guys may know him. Let's give a warm round of applause to Mr. DeMoss. For some of you that do not know me, I am completely blind. That's why I look like I'm fumbling around over here. And you may laugh along, that's fine. Okay, we also wanted to mention that this event will be both filmed and recorded. The audio will be recorded. Now, after the event, if you do not feel comfortable having your reading on YouTube or on my radio station, by all means tell us and we will not put it up there. It's not mandatory that they're up there. It's just that's what we do for every event. If we can do it, we film the event and we put the individual readings up on YouTube and on my radio station, which is an internet radio station, OIC Radio. What we're going to be doing tonight, again, this event will be a two-part event. The first one being the favorite poem night. That will go from 7 to 7:40. We'll have a 10-minute intermission. And then from 7:50 to 8:30 will be the regular Spofest spoken word poetry event. And that will be our annual Valentine's event. So what you'll be hearing will be love and relationships. If y'all have internet and you got a Facebook account, we are on Facebook, Spofest. Just do a search for Spofest, like us, because that's how we can help spread the word, the spoken word, here in Central Missouri. We're up to 100 Facebook likes, which is really cool. During the intermission, we will have some cookies and refreshment, I believe. Is that still right? Do we have cookies and refreshments in the back?
Yes.
Okay, good. So nobody go over there just yet. It's just for an intermission now. Okay, so we have a special guest of honor here, and her name is Barbara Schultz. And some of you may remember her. She is the founder of Favorite Poem Night. I'm not sure how long ago that was. I'm sure Barbara will explain that. So I had the opportunity and the privilege and the pleasure to speak with Barbara on the phone the last 2 weeks. She's a wonderful lady, and she was really excited about coming back to Sedalia. I was happy that she was able to do that. So let me stop yakking over here and bring on our very special guest of honor, the lady who was responsible for Favorite Poem Night. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a warm round of applause for Barbara Schultz.
I love that kind of introduction. Could we do that again, James?
Yes, we can. Ladies and gentlemen, Barbara Schultz.
Okay. Well, that's a very nice beginning. I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be standing here and having another favorite poem night at First Christian Church in Sedalia. First of all, I need to say, I started the favorite poem night here in Sedalia, but the whole concept of favorite poem night is a national concept that was started by Robert Penske in 1998. He was the U.S. Poet Laureate, and he wanted poetry to continue for the young people to be as important as it has been for some of us in these generations. So I did not start Favorite Poem Night. I just heard about it and started it here in Sedalia because I thought Sedalia people deserved to hear good poetry. And good poetry takes a good audience, and we've got that tonight. So I thank you for inviting me to come back and participate. My brother-in-law, Alex Berini, was nice enough to chauffeur me. So now James is a strict timekeeper. So he told me I have 2 minutes before I read my poem. But I do want to recognize some people who helped me when we were first starting Favorite Poem Night. Let's see, Doug Kibbers was one of the ones that was always ready to read, and that was nice. I didn't have to beg him. Let's see, who else is here that, well, Alex Berini, my brother-in-law, he was a reader in some of those first programs. Tim Whitmore was a reader. In fact, he'll do his poem. I better not say anything. And Marianne Hunter was an encouragement and a person who was reading at those first programs. And then I have to say, Group 5, Disciples Women here at First Christian Church, they have prepared more cookies and punch than you can read a poem at. And every time we'd have a favorite poem night, they knew that we needed refreshments. So once again, they're on duty. And let's see, anybody else? Anyway, this has been going on for about, well, it was 10 years here in Sedalia, and now I've started a poetry group at Kingswood, where I live in Kansas City. And there comes Laura Taylor. Hi, Laura. So 15 years of favorite poem nights. It's been fun. I didn't mention, did I say Jim Rissler? Jim Rissler was one of those first ones to read also. Well, I hope you have your imagination with you, because poetry takes a great imagination. It takes all of your senses to be on high alert. Your sense of smell and taste and touch. That's the way poetry is. Poetry has been defined as something like the wind. When you catch it, it's no longer wind. But poetry sometimes is that elusive. It's like dancing with a shadow. Yeah, I like that. So I'll start the evening off with my favorite poem entitled Abu bin Adham. Abu bin Adham. It's by Lee Hunt. Now, don't get hung up on that title. Every time I tell someone that's my favorite poem, they say, what? It's just the name of a person, Abu bin Adham. It's like Charlie Brown or Mary Smith, but it's Abu bin Adham. So don't get hung up on that. I like this poem because it emphasizes something that I believe in. You know, in the Bible, when the lawyer, you remember the incident, oh gosh, where is it? Anybody know? Matthew 22. I had it written down someplace. Anyway, it's where the lawyer asked Jesus what the most important command of the law of Moses. And you know what Jesus said? Anybody? Well, Jesus said that the greatest command is to love your God with all your heart and soul and mind. And the second is similar to it, to love your neighbor as yourself. So if we can do those two commands, we're in pretty good shape, I think. Well, I think this poem emphasizes that command that Jesus told us was so important. So here is Abu bin Adam by Leigh Hunt. Abu bin Adam, may his tribe increase, awoke one night from a deep dream of peace, and saw within the moonlight in the room, making it rich and like a lily in bloom, an angel was writing in a book of gold. Exceeding peace had made bin Adam bold, and to the presence in the room he said, "What writest thou?" The vision raised its head, and then with a look of all sweet accord, answered, "The names of those who love the Lord." "And is mine one?" said Abu. "Nay, not so," replied the angel. Abu spoke more low, but cheerily still, and said, "I pray thee then, write me as one who loves my fellow men." The angel wrote and then vanished. The next night it came again with a great wakening light, and showed the names of those whom the love of the Lord had been blessed. And lo, bin Adam's name was at the top of the list. The end.